lot of. You said you're a Scream fan. There was a lot of. Yeah, I am too. A huge Scream fan. There was a lot of stuff going on with the Scream franchise. I totally support Nev. Mike, actually, when we met Nev, Mike told Nev, "We support you and your decision to hold out for the money, blah blah blah, and all that." But
And
I really,
the next week they fired Melissa Barrera. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was like, we're supporting you. We agree to hold out for the money. You deserve it. And then next week they fired Melissa Barrera.
You know what? I don't necessarily like that because I do like Melissa Barrera as an actress. I think she's good in the Scream, and of course, but I never oh god, the other one that was in there, the other sister. Can't think of her name. She's the biggest star.
Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. Yeah. I don't think she was ever going to come back. Like, she's just too big of a star. She's got too much going on. She's not coming back for Scream 7. So, and then when that bullcrap happened with Mrs. Barrera, I think, whatever stance she had, whatever, it doesn't matter, about that stuff. But, like, that's her opinion, but they're going to fire her over it and stuff. And I think that was kind of like their way out to do a movie that they wanted to do. They didn't want to, I don't think when Jenna Ortega was out, then they were like, well, we don't want Melissa Barrera now. Like, we don't care about her. And, Nev, I know it seems like it's going to be all about Nev and her family, which I'm okay with. I am a Stu. I'm into Stu. Like, I really want him to be alive and come back. That's what I want. I don't know how you feel. We'll get into it. But for me, I want to see Scream 7, Nev and her family, Stu controlling mastermind. He was the mastermind behind, like, the people from Scream 5 and Scream 6. That's what I would like. Like, he, maybe not Scream 6 as much, but, like, definitely Scream 5, he was kind of like the mastermind. And maybe, I don't know, maybe some other things we can learn. I mean, they did that before with Roman in 1-3. We learned that he was actually pulling strings, which I don't like that. I personally don't like that choice, but I like Scream 3 for some of the things that it did. I don't like the choice. I think Roman's okay. He's the only one Ghostface killer that we've ever had that's won. And, but I think it's the time now. If you're going to do it, it's the time. Bring back Stu. Let's do it. It's going to be, everybody will love it. And I don't necessarily think you have to keep that a secret that Matthew Lillard's in the movie. I don't think you need to do that. I think people will go see it regardless, in my opinion.
Wait a minute. Aren't you telling too much? You're telling too much, aren't you?
No, because you can still have secret Ghostface. It just won't be him. He'll be Ghostface. You know that. He'll be like a leader. But there'll also be other secret ones that we won't know. So there'll still be a secret behind it. So what do you think?
Yeah. I have been off the Stu train. I am not. I don't want Stu to return. However, if he is going to return, it's gotten a lot more plausible now that they've gotten rid of this core 4, right? And now that we're going back to Nev, if he is going to come back,
right?
I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but what if he comes back and he's not a bad guy? What if he's back and Nev's getting terrorized, and there's a scene, and she's like, I gotta go see someone, and shows up to visit someone in prison, and she goes, I need your help, and it's Stu, because Stu is just a kind of a patsy of Billy, Stu, he was, doing all these horrible things, but Billy was the one that was kind of pulling the strings. Maybe Stu is regretting it, and maybe they need his help as a good guy. Maybe that would be a twist. But I know people wouldn't like that. I know it'll never happen. But yeah, Scream, they're in an interesting spot, with Sydney coming back, and things like that. They got to find a way to make it epic, right? Because Sydney's been in how many movies, right? A bunch. We've seen Sydney Prescott, arguably, in my opinion, maybe the best final girl of all time. Yeah, we've seen her in all these situations. She survived this. She's done this. She's had closure. She's come back. So how do you make it where this one's a little bit different, right? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I'm having a hard time lately separating Scream, my feelings about Scream, from some of these annoying Scream fans that are online.
Yeah.
Just yapping about everything. They're not even Scream fans. So I shouldn't even give them the dignity of calling them that. They're people using the situation that happened with Barrera and the situation that's happening on the other side of the world, which we're not going to get into.
That's right.
But there are people using that to get their side out there and to blame this person, blame that, blame this. What happened? Should Barrera have been fired? No, absolutely not. But here we are, right?
Right.
So, you know, I'm not going to have the ego to think that someone should care what I think about that situation that's going on over there, or Barrera.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? I'm just a guy, right? So nobody should care about that. But as far as like, we are where we are, right? I just think it has to be something. They got to find a way to make this Scream movie have a little more stakes than usual. And I don't know how you do that. Kevin Williamson is a fascinating choice to direct this movie, because you know, obviously nobody knows these characters more than him. He wrote them, he created them, but he's directed one movie, and it was Teaching Miss Tingle, and it was not very good. And he is on record of saying after that, I was in over my head. So maybe he's learned some things, you know,
right,
all kinds of things. I think it was more of a marketing move to get him to direct, and that fills me with a little concern. But with Nev coming back, I mean, what do you do if you're the studio? Do you make it epic where it's the final one? Yeah, you do, but shit, what if it makes $300 million? Then we got to have another sequel, you know? So it's like, what do you do? They're kind of in a tough spot here. But either way, it's exciting to know that we have Nev Campbell returning. I don't really care about Courtney Cox returning. I think she should have died last movie, because it would have been a perfect time for her character to die.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's cool that Nev's coming back. We'll see if what's his name, McDreamy, comes back and stuff like that. But it's cool that we're gonna have some stuff to look forward to and talk about with the franchise.
Right. Do you ever think it would be okay for them to do a reset with Scream to like what they did with Halloween, to where like the first movie is the only movie that counts, and then they make something on from that with like, and then so then you'd have Randy still alive, David Arquette. You know, you still have a lot of characters alive. Would you be interested in seeing something like that?
Yeah, because it'll probably happen at some point. I think it'll happen. Or an idea I heard from a buddy of mine who's got another channel, is he is saying, what if they go with Scream as a tribute to Wes Craven, they go with Wes Craven's New Nightmare route, where it's the cast of Scream and somebody's stalking the cast. So all the actors are being stalked in real life by some guy that's, you know, Ghostface or not. And that's how you bring all these actors and characters back. That's an idea. You know, it's interesting. They have avenues, and now that Halloween has kind of blown the doors off of
Yep.
rebooting franchise and multiple timelines, you know, anything is possible. And we know these studios are just going to milk them dry, milk all these ideas dry. So and you know, if you're Nev Campbell, if you're Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, yeah, you're fine. Studio says, here's $20 million. Okay, maybe I will do this, you know. So it's interesting. I just hope that I hope that things aren't rushed with some of these movies, and they actually take time to give us at least some quality. Even if I'm not going to like every creative decision, at least I know it's not just rushed out and the director cares and things like that. So it's a good problem to have right now, that the fact that we're actually having a lot of horror movies to talk about. Certainly good for having a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, that's right. No doubt. I'm one of the people that think that Scream 2 is like, I mean, it's not as good, but it's right there. It's kind of like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. It's like that for me. Like Halloween, or like Scream 2 is that good for me. That opening scene is awesome at the theater, where everybody's dressed up as Ghostface. They're there for Stab. Like, and everybody's going nuts. And like, we have a guy that's on our channel several times. His name's Gregory. He comes on our channel and talks horror movies.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, a movie theater wouldn't be like that. And Mike's like, yeah, it would be. Yes, it can be.
Back when I was in the late 80s, we had people that would dress up, chainsaws come through when horror movies are out, we'd have people dress up, we'd scare the shit back in. I mean, you had the Rocky Horror Picture Show playing and people throwing toast and rice and everything else. I mean, that was a time period that happened. I mean, in the 80s, it happened.
Yeah, and like, to me, that's one of the best I mean, it's behind the first, of course, but for me, it's Scream 2 is right there. Yeah, it's right there for me. So
yes, well, especially like with what happened many years later in Colorado, right? With the Dark Knight, the guy shot up the theater. It kind of got to the meta before the meta, where Scream commented on something before it happened, and you got everybody cheering in the theater, thinking it's part of the marketing or whatever, and Jada Pinkett, before she was whipping up on Will Smith, is just screaming there, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definite. Man, we could talk a lot more with you, and we'll have to have you on again, but I don't want to, take any more of your time here if you got to go. We've had over an hour with you, so.
Nick,
you guys have been fun.
Nick, would you like to?
Yeah.
Nick, would you like to kind of tell us a little bit more about your channel? We'll put this in a video. I'll edit this part out, but tell us a little bit more about what you got going on with your channel and what you got going on maybe the rest of 2024. Just kind of
my channel,
plug in for your channel here.
Yeah, sure. First of all, my channel sucks, so tell your audience not to watch it, or they're going to unsubscribe from you. They're going to trust in you guys. But if they like mediocre stuff, I'm just kidding. But no, I have a lot of things planned, a lot of top 10 videos, different horror franchises. Planning on finishing my reviews of the Friday the 13th series this summer, and then diving into Nightmare on Elm Street. In addition to that, I've been trying to go live a little more lately. Sometimes it all depends on my schedule. Once in a while, you'll see me take a break from YouTube, and it's like usually just a small break. Although it was a little longer earlier this year, but it's usually when YouTube starts feeling like a job, I'm out. I'm taking a break. It's supposed to be fun. So I'll disappear from time to time, but it probably won't happen again this year. I'm planning on really hitting some videos hard coming as we approach summer. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I got a lot of top 10 videos planned. As October approaches, going to talk a lot more Halloween, maybe with some watch-alongs and things like that. And I want to start slowly diving into, and I have a little bit, but slowly diving into some non-horror movies that I've loved as a kid, from the 80s and things like that. So mostly, mostly it's the big franchises that everybody loves to talk about, that there's a million videos on, right? That people just can't get enough of. I make a video on, a random movie like Phantasm. I get 100 views. I make a video on Halloween. I get thousands of views. And it's like, all right, I know you guys want me to talk Halloween all the damn time. So YouTube's funny, isn't it? But yeah, got a lot coming in the works. Channel's growing relatively fast. So it's nice to see the community growing, as you guys know, because you guys hit 1,000 subs. Was that end of last year that you guys hit that? Kind of end of 2023? And you guys have just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. So I'm really happy to see that, because I always assumed you guys were good guys, and now that I've met you both, at least I know Josh is a good guy. But are
y'all boomers or Generation Xers or something, or what?
oh man. Sorry, Mike. But no,
Nick,
I got a lot planned.
South now, though. You're not from Wisconsin, Milwaukee. So
no,
you're transplanted. You're a Southern boy now.
I'm a Southern boy. That's right. But no, I really I really appreciate you guys having me on. I've had a great time. A lot of good topics. Josh told me the wrong time, so that was a nightmare. But other than that.
Hey, Mike doesn't have X, so you don't have X.
That's because Mike's smart. I think Mike is smarter than both of us then.
Yeah, all this other stuff like Instagram and X and Twitter, and I got in trouble for calling it a meme today instead of me or whatever.
Sometimes I just joke around with people on Twitter, in the horror community. Well, like a bigger horror channel didn't like that, and they blocked me, and I was like, seriously?
Let's go ahead and tell who it was. We watched a movie. I know you don't want to do that. We watched the movie, blocked Josh, and I said, don't go underneath Real Dead. Do it underneath your name.
And I just said, he put a thumbnail.
What'd you do?
Clickbaity, which is fine. We do that too. All I said was, man, your thumbnail's real clickbaity. Blocked. And I'm like, seriously, bro? You're that insecure?
Touchy.
Like,
hey, Mike, give him another break, Mike. Come on now.
I like those guys
man.
too. I watch their stuff.
Don't joke around with people. Don't joke around with people on X because nobody knows what it's that drives me nuts on there. Nobody knows. Nobody has any context. Nobody has any nuance. It's always either this or that, and it's just crazy.
Wait, you're
but yeah,
wait,
I really
are you a Green Bay fan? Are you football?
I love football, but I'm not a Packer fan. I'm scared to say what kind of fan I am.
I'm Detroit Lions, so I would have,
Just don't say you're a Dallas fan.
I'm a Dallas fan.
Gosh, that's Josh. You were supposed to ask that prior to him coming on. What football team you pull for?
Yeah. I'm a Cowboy fan. In my defense, I mean, come on.
Steelers fan, so we can't, we can't jive there.
He's a Panthers fan.
Yeah. Hey, Panthers got a future, right?
Yeah, and the garbage.
They got Bryce. Yeah.
Well, Nick, we really appreciate you.
I'm a Cowboys fan. It's been rough.
Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe to Nick's channel, and also subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you guys later. Have a good one, Josh. Have a good one, Nick.
You guys, see you, Nick. We look forward to having you on again,
guys.
man.
Appreciate it.